classy lady with a beautiful smile and a gentle disposition. She was very proper and put the highest premium on good manners. She always was so well appointed, wearing just the right outfit for the occasion, with just the right earrings and necklace and shoes to match. She always changed for dinner and showed up with grace and charm to wherever she was going. Lois' earliest childhood memory was of a sandbox that she and her sister Jean played at their house. The sand was from Lake Michigan, nothing but the best quality sand, of course. She and Jean were given bicycles as a gift once that they would enjoy riding down to see a nearby movie, a movie in which their mother approved of certainly. Lois shared 54 years of marriage with Howard, and they loved to travel to England and Europe together, and they loved food. Lois was such a foodie and always ate well, and you knew it if she didn't. She would say, her daughters would sit down to dinner and wonder, okay, what is the experiment on the table? Because they knew that her recipe would doubtless change over and over and over again so that Lois could try new flavors and new combinations. Lois was also very much the consummate intellectual. She loved literature and reading. Rare was the time you'd see her without a book in her hand or on her table or in her cart. She loved to share what she was currently reading. She loved children's literature especially, and even served as a founding member of the Harvard Children's Library. Lois made those stories come alive when she read them to her daughters, and to this day, the cadence of her reading is locked in their memory. Lois was very proud to receive her bachelor's from Bowling Green, but she always regretted not returning for her master's, which I'm sure she would have completed with high marks. Of course, the happiest event in her life was the last 9 years together with John Malloy. She cherished their time together here at Swan Creek and going hither and yon. Together they shared their great conversation, great food, great company, and great love. Even if she did whisper to me on more than one occasion, I wish he didn't have to wear those shorts to dinner so we'd have to see his legs. Sorry, Lois, I had to share that.
Sorry, Rachel.
And John called her his soulmate. And another blessing of that relationship was that she was so very pleased that her own children got on so well with John's children, which made her extremely pleased. She told me on more than one occasion how much her own daughters meant to her, and that she also loved that Rachel still came to visit and cared for her even after John passed. To me, Lois was a woman of great faith. A woman who came to chapel regularly and listened to the sermons closely. She would always comment, whether good or bad, about my preaching. And if I had done a good job, she'd say, now you've given me something to think about. Or not, then she'd say, you know, you might go and check that text again. I loved Lois. Lois was always asking for prayer or stopping by to see how I was. And upon John's passing, John's family was gracious enough to give me John's pulpit gown, which she loved whenever I wore to lead worship. And as Rachel gave me permission to take out John's initials in his pulpit gown to replace them with my own, Lois wouldn't have it. She said, no, keep his initials in there to remember him. So of course I listened to Lois. I remember that she came for a special blessing for her last eye lift surgery that she had been so looking forward to so she could keep on reading. And it came out well, and she looked fantastic. She really did. When Lois' time with us was growing short, she accepted it and was graceful and as accepting as always. Our last conversation was of how she had lived such a wonderful life and looked forward even more to what was to come. We had prayer in the hospital, and she was certain of where she was going. She even was asking where John was.
That's been edited.
And I told her, "You'll see him soon enough, Lois, soon enough." For we all know that Lois has entered the light and love and the eternal warmth of our Savior Jesus Christ. I, for one, can't wait to see her again on that day and share that heavenly room where there is sure to be good taste, graceful living, the height of manners, and the best music. Because in our Father's house there are many rooms, and I can't wait to see Lois's. Amen.